The vision began as a dark mist that gradually gave way to an eerie landscape, revealing a world so alien and sinister that it felt like stepping into the heart of a nightmare. This was a time long before the Great Flood, a period lost to history but vividly brought to life by the mystic Anne Catherine Emmerich. The people of this ancient world were unlike any we know today. They were tall, almost unnaturally so, with bodies marked by grotesque muscularity and adorned with strange tattoos that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. Their eyes glowed with an unsettling, predatory light, betraying an innate hunger for cruelty and domination. They moved with a fluid, predatory grace, each step a silent promise of violence. Civilization in this era was a macabre mockery of progress. Towering ziggurats and temples, built with stones larger than any modern machinery could lift, dotted the landscape. These structures, however, were not places of worship for benevolent gods but centers of sinister rites and dark sacrifices. The air around them was thick with the acrid stench of burnt offerings and the faint, almost imperceptible cries of tormented souls. In this vision, Emmerich saw that the people worshipped beings of immense malevolence, entities that thrived on pain and chaos. These dark gods demanded constant appeasement, and their followers obliged with fanatic zeal. Rituals were performed under the cover of perpetual twilight, a time when the sky was stained with unnatural hues of red and purple, casting a baleful glow over the land. The leaders of this doomed civilization were the Nephilim, the offspring of the unholy union between fallen angels and human women. These beings were giants, towering over even the tallest of men, with eyes that burned with an infernal light. They ruled with an iron fist, their cruelty boundless and their thirst for power insatiable. Beneath their rule, humanity was reduced to mere cattle, exploited and discarded at their whim. The technology of this world was advanced, yet twisted by their dark purposes. Emmerich saw machines powered not by steam or electricity, but by harnessing the life force of living beings. Captured in arcane devices, the essence of countless souls was drained to fuel the unholy engines of war and construction. Cities floated above the ground, suspended by invisible forces, their undersides bristling with weaponry designed to rain death upon the earth below. The natural world was no less perverse. The very fabric of creation seemed warped by the malevolence that permeated every aspect of life. Plants grew twisted and malignant, their fruits oozing with poison. Animals, once gentle, had become fierce and predatory, their eyes reflecting the same insatiable hunger that plagued their human counterparts. Rivers ran black with toxins, and the ground itself seemed to writhe underfoot, as if trying to escape the corruption that seeped into its very core. Amidst this hellish existence, there were those who resisted, remnants of humanity who remembered a time before the darkness. They lived in hiding, far from the prying eyes of the Nephilim and their dark gods. These survivors clung to the old ways, practicing forbidden rites of healing and protection, whispered to them by the last of the true seers and prophets. But their numbers dwindled with each passing day, their hope fading like the last embers of a dying fire. Emmerich's vision grew darker still, showing the final days before the flood. The heavens themselves seemed to rebel against the earth, and ominous signs appeared in the sky. Great comets streaked across the horizon, their tails leaving trails of fire and brimstone. The ground trembled with increasing frequency, as if the very bones of the earth were cracking under the weight of its sins. The people, blinded by their hubris, paid no heed to these portents. Instead, they grew more frenzied in their debauchery, believing themselves invincible. The Nephilim, sensing their impending doom, intensified their blood rites, seeking to placate their gods and avert the catastrophe. But it was all in vain. Finally, the vision reached its climax. Emmerich saw the first drops of rain, fat and heavy, falling from the sky like tears of the divine. The downpour grew into a deluge, the heavens opening up in a torrent of wrathful waters. The people screamed and cursed, their voices drowned out by the roaring of the flood. The Nephilim, for all their power, were swept away like chaff in the wind, their dark reign ending in a cataclysm of biblical proportions. As the waters rose, Emmerich saw the last remnants of humanity clinging to whatever they could find, their prayers mingling with the howling wind. The vision faded with the image of a world cleansed by divine retribution, the slate wiped clean for a new beginning. When she awoke, Anne Catherine Emmerich was left with an overwhelming sense of sorrow and dread. The world before the flood was a testament to the depths of depravity to which humanity could sink, and a stark reminder of the consequences of turning away from the light. Her vision was a warning, a glimpse into a past that could easily become our future if we fail to heed the lessons of history.